Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to dive into the life of a remarkable young man.
Oh, cool.
Nasser Khalid Al-Minhali. He's only 13 years old.
Wow.
But he's already accomplished some incredible things. We're talking academic brilliance, leadership skills, and a heart of gold.
So, get ready to be inspired as we unpack what makes Nasser so extraordinary and what we can all learn from his journey.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be very interested to hear about this young man.
Absolutely. So to get us started, can you tell us a little bit about Nasser?
Yes, Naser is an Emirati teenager and a distinguished student at the Sheikh Zayed Private Academy in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
He's making quite a name for himself.
You know, when I was 13, I was mostly worried about what was on TV that night and if I had enough snacks. This kid is out here presenting at school events and wowing everyone with his public speaking skills. How is he even doing that at 13? Right. Well, his teachers and classmates say he possesses a captivating presence. They describe him as confident, articulate, and a very thoughtful listener. It seems he has a natural ability to connect with people.
That's fascinating. I'm always impressed by good public speakers. I get nervous just thinking about talking in front of a crowd. The sources mention that Nasser is a big reader, right? Could that have something to do with his communication skills?
Absolutely. Nasser devours novels in both Arabic and English. Immersing himself in these stories helps him understand different cultures and broadens his perspectives. I think it also helps him develop empathy and understand the nuances of human interaction. Those qualities likely contribute to his effectiveness as a communicator.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just about speaking eloquently. It's about understanding people and connecting with them on a deeper level. So on the academic side, this kid's a straight A student. Is there anything he isn't good at?
Well, his academic achievements are impressive. He excels across all subjects, but his teachers point to his love of learning as a key factor in his success. It's not just about grades for Nasser. It's about a genuine thirst for knowledge.
Okay, so he's a brilliant communicator and a star student. But there's more to this story, right? I read that he's also quite the athlete.
Yes, Nasser is a dedicated swimmer. That in itself tells us something about his character. Swimming requires discipline, perseverance, and a willingness to push your own limits.
It's interesting you mentioned that pushing your own limits. I think a lot of people, myself included, could learn from that. It's easy to get comfortable, but stepping outside your comfort zone is how you grow.
Exactly. And Nasser seems to understand this intuitively. He's not content with just coasting through life. He's constantly striving to improve himself.
So we've got this picture of a well-rounded young man. But what really struck me is his commitment to community service. It seems to be more than just something he does. It's woven into who he is.
Yes. Nasser's compassion and kindness seem to be deeply ingrained in his personality. He's always willing to help classmates or community members in need. There's a story about him, helping an elderly neighbor with groceries. Apparently he does this regularly, not just as a one-time thing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
He's clearly not doing it for recognition. It sounds like he genuinely cares about making a difference in the lives of others. It's inspiring, really.
It speaks volumes about his character. It's easy to focus on your own goals and ambitions, especially at that age. But Nasser seems to have a genuine desire to contribute to something larger than himself.
It makes you wonder, where does he get this from? Is it his upbringing, his culture, or just something innate?
That's a good question. While we can't know for sure, it's likely a combination of factors. Emirati culture places a strong emphasis on family community and helping those less fortunate. So it's possible that Nasser's upbringing has instilled these values in him.
It's fascinating how cultural values can shape a person's worldview and actions. But it's also clear that Nasser's taking these values and making them his own. He's not just following a script, he's actively choosing to live a life of service.
I agree. And it's not just about community service. Nasser also seems to understand the importance of balance in life. He's not just an academic or an athlete. He's a well-rounded individual who's pursuing excellence in multiple areas.
It's like he's figured out that life is about more than just achieving success in one area. It's about nurturing different aspects of yourself and using your talents to make a positive impact on the world. Do you think there are any challenges to this? I mean, aiming for excellence in so many areas, wouldn't that be incredibly demanding?
You raise a good point. It's important to acknowledge that while Nasser's accomplishments are remarkable, focusing solely on achievements can create pressure. It's important to celebrate effort and growth, not just the end result.
That's so true. It's a good reminder for all of us, really. Striving for excellence is great, but it's also important to give ourselves permission to make mistakes and learn along the way.
And to find joy in the journey, not just the destination. I imagine Nasser faces challenges, just like anyone else. But it's inspiring to see how he approaches life with such a positive attitude and a willingness to learn and grow.
Absolutely. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive into Nasser's life, I'm curious, what stands out to you the most? What are some key takeaways for our listener?
What strikes me is that Nasser embodies a set of values that are universal and timeless. Compassion, kindness, perseverance, a love of learning. These are qualities that transcend cultural boundaries and can inspire us all regardless of our age or background.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. It's a reminder that even though we may come from different backgrounds and have different experiences, there are certain fundamental values that connect us all.
And it's these values that have the power to create positive change in the world.
So for our listener out there, how can we all take a page from Nasser's book and bring these values into our own lives?
Well, it starts with recognizing that we all have the power to make a difference. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. It can be as simple as lending a helping hand to a neighbor, volunteering in your community, or simply treating others with kindness and respect.
Small acts can have a big impact, right?
Exactly. And it's about being intentional with our time and energy. Just like Nasser seems to be intentional about nurturing his different talents and interests, we can all make a conscious effort to cultivate those aspects of ourselves that we want to grow.
That's such a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget to prioritize personal growth or giving back to the community.
But even small steps can make a difference. Maybe it's reading a book on a topic you're curious about, taking a class to learn a new skill, or simply spending time in nature to recharge.
And it's not selfish to invest in ourselves, right?
Yeah.
It actually allows us to show up more fully in other areas of our lives, whether it's our work, our relationships, or our community involvement.
Precisely. When we take care of ourselves, we're better equipped to take care of others.
So as we wrap up our deep dives into Nasser's life, I'm left with this feeling of hope and possibility. It's easy to get cynical about the world, but his story is a powerful reminder that there are young people out there who are genuinely committed to making a positive impact.
It's a reminder that each of us has the potential to be a force for good in the world. We may not all be straight-A students or star athletes, but we all have unique talents and passions that we can use to contribute to something larger than ourselves.
And maybe that's the most important takeaway from Nasser's story. It's not about replicating his achievements, but about finding our own unique path to making a difference.
Yes, and about remembering that it's never too early to start.
Well said. A huge thank you to our listener for joining us on this inspiring journey. We hope you found it as thought-provoking as we did.
And until next time, remember to keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to make the world a little bit brighter.
See you on the next deep dive.